Hey everyone, I really can't imagine how this coin won't make history again in Q4 this year after that crazy Q4 run last year when I see all of these amazing things that are happening for it. Also, if you remember what happened back then, XRP went from being worth about 50 cents to almost 3.40 in a very short amount of time. Really crazy, right? So this October to January window is all we have, right? XRP is still doing well at around 2.80. However, here's the thing with all of these great things happening around XRP and the amazing crypto environment we're seeing in the US and around the world. I really can't see how XRP won't completely explode past 4.0. We want to reach those sweet 7th and to 10th goals and maybe even go above and beyond them by the end of the year and the start of Q1 2026. But hold on, I want to talk about something else with you today. What do you think is the most important thing that is driving XRP right now? What is making everyone so excited right now? The ETFs must be it. Let's not lie. ETFs are what's really changing the game, and everyone is glued to their screens, waiting to see which altcoin gets approved first. Now, this is what I think. To this day, I'm still very sure that XRP will be the first altcoin ETF to get approved in the US. Also, if I'm right, the value of XRP is going to totally explode. Imagine that these ETF flows alone could send XRP and Ethereum and Bitcoin through the roof. Seriously, I think a lot of people are unaware of how big this spot ETF for XRP could become. Look at this now. I found this Cointelegraph post by accident and it blew my mind. This is why it's crazy. Cointelegraph has never really liked XRP. I remember when that case was dropped in 2020. They were the first ones to throw shade at XRP for years. I mean, they have been punching Ripple and XRP nonstop for years. But now comes the crazy part. Things have changed lately. You can practically see it happen right now, right? XRP and Ripple have become popular all of a sudden, and everyone wants to use them. Yes, of course. We need to keep a very positive attitude about this because it's crazy how everyone is changing their minds. Even the most devoted Bitcoin supporters are now completely on the other side. Now, it's funny to see how quickly people change their minds, but now things get interesting. Read this review written by xrp+. They are looking for a huge 86% rise, which could send XRP all the way up to 4.80. That's what I mean. Allow me to unfold the interesting facts for you. First, yes, XRP did take a hit. In 45 days, there will be a drop of almost 20%. It has been stuck in this falling triangle shape, getting comfortable near the 2.70 support level. On-chain data and futures markets, on the other hand, are screaming that leverage is ending. There are also lots of those pretty early accumulation signs, which means there will be a lot less drama with liquidations in the future. There is a lot of promise when there is a fair value gap. Fibonacci retracement levels and fractal patterns all pointing in the same direction. Bounce of 60% to 84% going into Q4. I'm not putting all my eggs in this one basket, okay? But this is what makes me happy. If we see this thing really rocket back up to those altitudes we reached before, we're talking about going through that 4.0 mark super easy. Not a problem. We broke through the 4.85 cent barrier right as the fourth quarter began, and XRP is expected to soar past 10 before the end of the year. Also, please understand that I'm not just being positive. There will be a crazy amount of talk and buying going on around XRP, but let's not pretend for a second. This is assuming that everything goes as planned. The truth is that no one here has a crystal ball. Before the end of Q4, XRP could throw us a fastball. We need to keep our eyes on those ETF updates that are coming out all the time because here's what I think about that ETF choice. That's the moment that will make or break us. I mean, everyone in the crypto world is holding their breath and refreshing their feeds while they wait for that big news. Altcoins are getting a lot of attention right now thanks to ETFs. There's no doubt about that, but wait, this video comes from CoinDesk, so I want to show it to you. What's crazy is this. They are pretty much in the same situation as Cointelegraph, right? It wasn't until it became cool to talk about Ripple and XRP that these outlets paid attention to them. Get this then? This is what Zephyr Crypto says, CoinDesk says. XRP waits for an ETF trigger. XRP fell 4%, but everything changes in October. This is when the SEC changes its mind about spot XRPFs and big money. There are a lot of eyes on them right now. That switch could be actually flipped with just one approval, setting off a monster bull run. Listen to this. Let's look at today's report. Today, XRP fell 4% after it broke through support at $2.88. The idea of a spot ETF is even getting stronger, even though the token hasn't done as well as the market as a whole. It has shown that it can handle institutional buying while short-term selling pressure is strong. In October, the SEC is likely to make important regulatory decisions about a spot XRP ETF. These decisions could be a big bullish catalyst for the asset. The price of XRP was 2.82 at the time of the recording. The chart of the day for today is over. This is Jen Sanasi. We'll see you next week. We're also getting some juicy information from Zive Crypto. Also, I want to assure you that all of this XRP ETF talk is real. As you can see, a top analyst at Bloomberg just confirmed that XRP futures and products will start to ship right after Solana launches. Also, guess what? A lot more people are already interested. This XRP ETF could become a long-term favorite among institutions. Demands are rising and pace is picking up. You need to hear this. I thought Solana would do pretty well, but we do have Solana futures items that might be a good sign. We also now have the Solana product, which is stakes. In a strange way, how are they doing? Really pretty good. Funny enough, there are also leverage futures XRP and XRP goods. They came out after the Solana goods and got even more attention. A lot of people are interested in that. Is it going to get as much attention as the start of Bitcoin and the Bitcoin ETF? I certainly don't. Like anyone who thinks, oh, Bitcoin ETFs made $4 billion. That's right. My XRP ETF will get the same amount or something. That's not going to work at all. This type of object has a longer tail. I believe there will be a need. There will be a lot. It's likely that each of these assets will do well in more than one offering. Not all 10 of the ones I mentioned, but a good number of them. Yes, he is not daydreaming over there thinking that XRP is about to destroy Bitcoin ETFs and take all the credit. Do you feel me? People trying to guess what will happen is like throwing darts without a mask on. Anything could happen. We'd all be like, whoa, didn't see that coming for the day. When I think about XRP ETFs competing with Bitcoin ETFs, I immediately think about Ethereum and how well those ETFs have been doing. They've been on fire. When I think back to 2017, 2018, and even before that, XRP was moving higher than Ethereum. That must have been crazy, right? Now you understand why I really believe XRP could really beat Ethereum ETFs. Also, Ethereum ETFs have already competed with Bitcoin ETFs this year and done well. So that makes me think, what if XRP ETFs could do the same thing? Think about XRP going up against both Bitcoin and Ethereum. That would be cool. Now, is it certain that it will happen? Honestly, I don't think so. That's what makes this space so fun, though. We're going to do things one step at a time, and we still need that permission. But man, it's pretty cool to think about what might happen. Okay, I'm going to slow down for a moment, but dude, have you seen Polymarket lately? The chances of getting a Ripple ETF in 2025 are 94%. And just so you know, I believe those numbers are seriously too low. Let's face it, I'm almost ready to bet the farm that we have 100% certainty here. Take a deep breath because that ETF approval will drop before the end of 2024. That's when the real celebrations begin, my friends, because this isn't just a chance okay. Now is the time when everything changes. There is going to be a big fight between these new altcoin ETFs and Ethereum and Bitcoin Plus, which are the heavyweight winners. We'll finally find out if institutions really want XRP or just looking at it. Hold on tight. That's right. Grayscale just celebrated the first birthday of their XRP trust with a party. Guys, we're talking about XRP, the powerful token that runs the XRP system. Wow, those lightning fast, dirt cheap payments are really crushing it. With those cool ledger extensions, they're now moving into smart contracts. By the way, they celebrated this event on September 5th. But this is why I'm excited about the date. Grayscale isn't just another player in this game. When it comes to XRP ETFs, they beat everyone else. These guys are the very first ones waiting to hear their thoughts on the XRP ETF choice. Also, please play the drums. That's going to happen on October 18th, people. Our conversation is about a real company. Grayscale has a lot at stake, and they're about to find out if they're the first ones to figure out the XRP ETF code. October is a crazy month for XRP ETF choices. This is about statements that come right after each other. This is crazy stuff. Now, though, things get really interesting. Just think about this for a moment. It's almost the end of September, right? Feel free to read what I think. After the Fed cut rates in September, what do you think will happen? The markets go crazy because of this. When the Federal Reserve lowers interest rates, the M2 money quantity pretty much goes through the roof. Every time it works like a clock. All of a sudden, everyone is rushing to get real assets, right? It seems like everyone is going crazy trying to get a piece of the stock market, putting all of their money into crypto and buying gold and silver like crazy. Believe me, every market is about to go through the roof during this time. This is where things get really interesting. As October begins, XRP starts to go crazy. Then all of a sudden on October 18, 19, 20, 23, 24, and 25, huge ETF spot decisions start falling for XRP one after the other. And guys, if these really get the go ahead, that whole situation will become insanely bullish.